I used to think that pedalling at the same steady cadence, no matter what the terrain, was the way to go. But you know what? I was completely wrong. I tried that for many years and I ended up getting nowhere. But it turns out that all I really needed to do to feel like a stronger, fitter cyclist was make a few small changes to my pedalling style. If you were like me and tend to pedal at the same speed all the time, then you could potentially be missing out on some seriously big performance gains. Did you know that simply improving your cadence can help you to ride faster, build your strength and increase your endurance depending on how you use it? Today I'm going to share with you the ways that you can improve your cadence and become the cyclist that you've always dreamt of. And who knows, you may even start dropping riders instead of being the poor sap who's constantly struggling at the back. Let's for one moment imagine that you're driving a car. Now you're not going to put your foot hard on the accelerator in first gear and rev it up to 5,000 revs and drive it for the entire journey like that. Only an idiot would do that because, well, that's how you destroy engines. Maybe you can see where I'm going with this. And similarly, you wouldn't want to try and climb a steep hill in fifth gear, unless of course you really enjoy rolling back into traffic. And that, more or less, is what most cyclists do. They ride at the same cadence regardless of the situation, and then they wonder why they feel like they're struggling. So what happens when you mix things up a bit? Can it really make you ride faster, stronger and more efficiently? Let's break things down into three basic cadence zones. The first one is low cadence, so that's pedaling between 60 and 75 revs per minute. And let's for shits and gigs call that Hulk mode. Think of this like weightlifting on the bike. It's great for building leg strength and muscular endurance, especially for climbing and grinding into those headwinds. But the downside is that if you overdo it, it will make your ride feel very hard and it will wear you out very quickly. Next, there's the mid-cadence range, so that's pedaling between 75 and 90 revs per minute, or the Goldilocks zone. This is the sweet spot, smooth, efficient, and your go-to for endurance. This is actually where the pros spend most of their time when they're doing their long rides, and that's because it's a great way to balance power and energy use. The downside, well, it's great for cruising, but you're not going to build any max strength or sprint power if this is all you do. And then there's the high cadence zone, so 90 revs and above. Let's call this the hamster wheel. So this is fast, high intensity spinning, and it's great for sprints, building cardiovascular fitness, and feeling like a pro when you're doing a time trial. And yep, there is a downside. Basically, you're not going to build any leg strength. And if you haven't trained for it, you're just going to end up looking like, well, a hamster on a wheel. But here's the thing, cadence isn't just about speed or comfort. It can actually change the way your body fuels its ride. At the risk of grossly oversimplifying things, your body has two types of engines. You have a diesel engine, which is slow burning, efficient and lasts for hours. And this is perfect for endurance riding. And then you have a nitrous boost, which has explosive power, but it burns out very quickly. And this is perfect for short sprints and short steep climbs. And your cadence decides which engine you're going to be using. The diesel engine is aerobic exercise, or pedaling in the Goldilocks zone, and it's by far and away your most efficient long haul strategy. It's your fat burning, oxygen using, all day cruising gear. And if you're riding long distances but you don't want to feel like the rough end of a ragman's trumpet the next day, this is your go-to cadence. The nitrous boost is anaerobic exercise, so riding on that hamster wheel or riding in Hulk mode. This is when you're doing high explosive efforts like sprints, for instance, or you're doing low cadence, high resistance efforts like climbing. Either way, you're going to edge into that anaerobic zone. Unfortunately though, this is also where you stop burning fat as fuel and start burning glycogen, which is in limited supply, which is why you can't do it for very long. It's also where you start producing that lovely burning lactic acid that starts building up in your legs. Now, if you only ever pedal at one cadence, then all you're doing is only training one of those engines. So how do we mix it up a bit so that you can become a stronger, more adaptable cyclist? Think about professional pianists for a second. If they only ever played slow, relaxing pieces of music, then they'd quickly become overwhelmed when they tried to play fast and complex ones. And similarly, if they always played lightning fast, then they would lack the subtlety and control to play the slower pieces. The best pianists, like the best cyclists, train across different tempos to master their craft. So should you be spinning away like Tadej Pogačar or grinding like a Tour de France rouleur? Well, the answer depends on you and what you want to achieve with your training. If you're training for endurance, then stick to the Goldilocks zone for steady, energy efficient riding. On the other hand though, if you want to build strength, then you'll need to stick to Hulk mode. So big gear climbing and grinding into headwinds. But if you're chasing sprint and speed power, then you need to stick to the hamster wheel and develop acceleration and a snappy pedal stroke. In reality though, your cadence shouldn't be set in stone. It should adapt to the road ahead. So mid cadence for the majority of your rides, fast cadence for things like accelerations and sprints, and low cadence for controlled power on the climbs. At the end of the day, there's no such thing as one perfect cadence. But by mixing it up and using all three, hopefully you'll become a stronger, fitter, faster and more efficient cyclist. And who doesn't want that? There's always something new that we can learn to help make our cycling even better. And that's why I've created my own free monthly newsletter packed with tips and tricks to help you do just that. And if you'd like to sign up, I'll leave a link in the description below. In the meantime, thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one.